Hello, my name is Jackie Kendall and I'm the percussion tutor for Nottingham Youth Training Orchestra, NYTO. Now, unlike strings, wind and brass players, the percussionists often spend more time counting bars rest than playing. But imagine an orchestra or a band where all the musicians are percussionists and there are virtually no bars rest. It's called a Samba band. I'm sure you've heard of Samba, probably on Strictly. But the origins of Samba go way back to the 1500s when the Portuguese invaded Brazil, bringing African slaves with them. And eventually, out of that rich mix of culture came the rhythms of the samba. Its influence can be heard in much of Brazilian music, but to hear pure samba, you need to be in Rio de Janeiro for the annual carnival. All the samba schools work hard year-round, preparing for the carnival parade. There are floats with amazing designs, dancers in incredible costumes, and samba bands playing fantastic rhythms. I'm going to introduce you to some of the samba instruments now. Then I'll show you how to make your own versions at home so that you can perform your own samba either by playing along with the NYTO Samba Band or creating your own samba band with your family. So first of all, the surdo is the largest samba instrument and looks and sounds a bit like a bass drum. And it provides a steady beat for the rest of the samba band. Then we have the chocaio, which is a cylindrical shaker, or in my case, it's shaped like a sweet corn. And again, it's a repeated rhythm. The reco-reco is a scraper, and it's made of either metal or, in this case, bamboo, and you can see it has grooves all the way down the side. It's held in one hand, the left hand if you're right-handed, or the other way around if you're left-handed, and then you hold a thin stick, in my case a chopstick, and you scrape up and down the grooves. The tamborim, not tambourine, tamborim, which is Portuguese for small drum, is a small drum with a single head, and it's played with a thin stick. Then we have the agogos, two small cone-shaped cowbells with different pitches. So again, you hold in one hand and with a stick. Then we come finally to the apito, which is a whistle. And this is used by the leader of the samba band, and it's got 3 tones. It's used as a signal to tell the band when to start or stop, or when to change the rhythm. The samba leader also plays the caixa, which is like a snare drum. So these are our instruments that we'll be using in our samba. Now you're ready to raid the kitchen cupboard and the recycling for your own samba instruments. So let's see what I've found in my kitchen cupboard. First of all, the surdo. I've got 3 different sizes and sounds. This is the washing up bowl, wooden spoon, and bucket. Then finally, the biggest one is this big storage tub. So then we come to the shaker, and I've got an empty plastic drinks bottle. I've filled it with rice, or you can use lentils, and you don't want to fill it more than 1/4 of a third because they need to have room to move when you're shaking. Then we come to the reco-reco, the scraper, and you can use a cheese grater. This is the best side, and I'm using a spoon handle. Or a baked bean tin, empty of course. Now you take the lid off, but then it's important to line the top with strong tape because otherwise It's a very sharp edge and you don't want to catch your finger on it. And then chopstick or thin stick of wood or plastic. Then we come to the tambourine, and I found several plastic tubs, pots. I've got this one with a handle, empty ice cream tub, and then finally the agogos. I'm using 2 upturned saucepans. Now they need to be different sounds or pitches, and so you can see I've got a big and a small, but you might have 2 in your cupboard that are the same size but still do have different pitches, and I'm going to play them with 2 wooden spoons. And those are your samba instruments. Now let's look at the different rhythms. The surdo, or bucket or tub. We're going to be counting in 4, so the surdo plays on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. Then we come to the shaker. First take your shaker and hold it horizontally. Place it on the palm of your hand and move from the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're a musician, you're playing semiquavers. If you're not a musician, to help you stay in time, think of the word caterpillar. Caterpillar, 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 caterpillar. And I don't know if you noticed, but the beginning of each caterpillar is away from you. Caterpillar, 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 caterpillar. Now we come to the scraper. I'm going to use my empty tin. So you hold it in one hand, in your left hand if you're right-handed, or the other way around if you're left-handed. Then take your chopstick or thin stick and exactly the same rhythm. So either think semiquavers or say caterpillar, 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 caterpillar. Then we come to the tambourine. Here's my small pot. Now the rhythm gets more interesting and the words get more interesting. We're going to use the words, I like grapes, I don't like bananas. I like grapes, I don't like bananas. I like grapes, I don't like bananas. Try that. And then finally we have our 2 saucepans, which are down on the table here, and the wooden spoons. And this time we're going to say, I like carrots, I don't like peas. I like carrots, I don't like peas. Now, that's more complicated because you're playing on 2 different pans. You can start with an easy version. Don't like peas, don't like peas, don't like peas. And that could be what you play all the way through. If you feel bolder, add the carrots. So there are your rhythms. So now let's talk about the samba recorded by NYTO. If you play an instrument, you'll be used to following music. However, samba is usually taught orally, so it's played without music, which is exactly what we're going to do. But don't worry, because when you watch it, you'll see there are prompts on the screen to help you. The first thing you will hear are 4 blasts on the whistle. Then we start with what's called call and response. This is rather like a musical conversation between the samba leader, that's me, and the band. So we're going to use words again. You're going to play your samba instruments on the word yeah. So whether you're shaking, scraping or tapping, this is what it will sound like. Come on and play the samba, yeah. Come on and play the samba, yeah. Come on and play, yeah. Come on and play, yeah. Come on and play the samba, yeah. Okay, let's try that. Ready? Come on and play the samba, yeah. few tips to help you get going. You might want to practice your rhythms on your own in your Samba group. Doesn't matter how many you are, it could just be one of you. Then listen out for the whistle. It comes at the very beginning, but it also comes during the Samba. 4 blasts on the whistle means stop or start, and there will be prompts on the screen to help you follow where you're going. And then at the end, we have the call and response again. So feel free to do whatever you want. The main thing is to have fun with your Samba.